Today we're going to be talking about experiences with adoption. I would like to talk to you about some of your experiences, along with some of the challenges you have faced on your journey of adoption, if that's okay with you.
Yes, that would be great actually.
So, you recently adopted a set of siblings. They're age 3 and 5, right?
Yes, Molly's our 3-year-old and Brad is our 5-year-old.
Can you talk more about adopting children at an early age compared to an older age?
I think that having the opportunity to adopt a child at a younger age is great. I think you have a better opportunity to build a good relationship over time with that child and really help them develop as they grow. An older child, sometimes, their past traumas may interfere with their development or can cause strain in your relationship, but I think it's a great opportunity to adopt children when they're younger.
So, I know we just spoke on adopting at a younger age. How do you think adopting a set of siblings compared to just one could be?
Well, personally, I think it makes it a little bit easier. As your children grow and develop, you want them to have relationships with children around the same age. But with siblings, they'll always have each other, to talk to, play together, and comfort one another.
As you said, they have each other to play with and comfort, but at their ages, how do they get along? I'm sure that they have some arguments.
I think, in my opinion, they're best friends from what I observed. They do almost everything together. Of course, sometimes they may fight over toys or attention, but otherwise, they seem to have a great relationship.
Well, that's good. So, speaking of relationships, do they have contact with either biological parent?
They do. We have a pretty open relationship with the biological parents. We work hard to incorporate them into the children's lives. They're allowed to visit with the children, attend their school programs and functions, and we keep them updated on the children pretty frequently.
So, with the updates, do you update them via social media, through text message, mail?
We try to do a variety of everything with their biological parents as far as updating them goes. We use social media, of course, and that way, they can be involved in the child's life, and if they choose to involve, additional family members in the child's life, they have the opportunity with social media. But the more personal things, we send their school photos and professional photos to the biological parents. We have the children's, do crafts and send those letters, things like that. We have, the parents meet up with us at restaurants, parks. We sometimes go to the movies.
So, speaking of social media, do you feel that it makes having an open adoption easier for you and the biological family versus when there was no social media and you would have to contact, through mail?
I think social media has done a lot towards progressing open adoptions. I think open adoptions were viewed differently before social media became popular and used, widely by almost everyone. I think it makes it easier and cuts out a lot of strain when you can easily share things with the about the children with the biological parents through social media, and they can, easily see updates on the children's day-to-day life.
So, I know we've talked about some of the benefits of open adoption. Have you experienced any challenges with open adoption?
Of course. All relationships have their challenges. For us, it can be difficult sharing our children's lives with others, and especially another set of parents. However, we know it's what's best for them.
It can be difficult, but I also think it's beneficial to the children, and it can have a positive impact on them as they grow older. If they have any questions about their biological family, if there's more openness, they could contact them rather than having questions. So, are there any other challenges you have faced with adoption?
There's been, many ups and downs, and to be honest, one of our biggest problems have been our finances.
This is a challenge many families face, especially adoptive families, as you are taking in another human being. So, how has your family adjusted to these challenges so far?
I think the best thing that we've done so far to help us with finances and financial problems has been coming up with a budget That helps us to know what we can and can't spend. We allot money for, our bills, the electric, car payments, all that stuff, water, any additional expenses, and we can also put some back that way if there's additional funds at the end of the month, and we put some in for, a fund.
Budgets are a good idea. It can be stressful figuring out how to provide for a bigger family, so it's good that you allot money each month for a budget.
It's helped us a ton.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to discuss adoption with me. Often it can be hard to discuss this along with the difficulties faced, but I also want to thank you for choosing adoption.
Thank you for having me. This conversation was great, and I think it was very helpful to discuss the challenges and rewards of open adoption. Especially in my case, it helps a lot to get all that off my chest.
For this role play, I used the article Is Closed Adoption Ethical by Lita Jordan. I also used the article Problems with Child Adoption